All right, so homework 11 here, we are solving equations. When we're solving an equation, if it has parentheses, first thing we do, get rid of those parentheses, use our distributive property. So this side's going to stay the same, negative, my board. So negative 5u minus 18 is going to equal?
Negative 2u plus 12.
Exactly. Now, we just have two things on both sides. Whoops.
Negative 2u plus 12 or
Yep.
negative 12?
Negative 2u plus 12, because the negative times the negative is a positive 12, right? And since it's not the leading one, we've got to put the plus sign there.
But look at your first number.
This one? Oh, what did I put? 12u there. You're right. Good thing you're paying attention. I'm still trying to decide if my board's going to work. Okay, there we go. Now I got it down right. So, negative 5u minus 18 equals negative 2u plus 12. We want to have our variables together on one side, our numbers on the other side, so we're going to move the 2u over, and so we're going to add our 2u, and we're going to move our 18 over to the right side. Since it's negative, we're going to add the 18, right?
Yeah.
And so, if we do that, we're going to get what?
We are going to get minus 3u
Yep.
and 30
Minus 3u equals 30.
equals 30.
And then to solve that, we do what?
Divide.
Divide by minus 3. And so u equals negative 10, right?
Negative 10.
30 divided by negative 3. So negative 10.
Because u equals negative 10.
So if we simplify there, number 2, we're solving that for x. I don't know why that says v. We're solving it for x. Look at that. So first thing I'm going to do, my distributive property, I'm going to get?
Rid of the parentheses.
Yep.
So negative 3x plus negative 21.
So just minus 21. We don't need plus negative.
Oh,
We just
okay.
want minus 21.
Minus 21
Equals.
equals negative 9x plus 9.
Okay. Next thing we're going to do,
Is the 9 comes over.
so I'm going to add my 9x.
Yep. And the 2 becomes a positive.
And it's 21.
Huh?
Positive 21.
Oh, what did I do? 9 comes over. Oh, I didn't put the 1.
See, you're
Okay.
running into my problem. I tried to add a 1 on the last one.
So that is 30.
So this side you said is 30. The other side is
6.
6x. And when we divide,
Oh, negative. X is going to be 5.
x is going to be 5. Exactly. So, number 3, we're solving for v. Getting rid of our parentheses, we're going to have what?
3v plus 9.
3v plus 9 equals our negative 9v minus 27. From there, we're going to,
The 9 comes over. That becomes a negative 9.
so you're moving the plain 9 over here? Is that what you
Oh.
did? You can do that.
Oh, I can do that?
Sure. If I move the 9 over to the left, that means I'm going to move my variable to the
Yeah.
right, which is fine to do just as long as they're on opposite sides. So if I do that, then I'm going to do plus the 9v, right?
Yep, plus 9v. Negative 36 plus 12v equals 36 divided by 12 is what? I'm not trying to do this in my head too. 36 divided by 12. Or negative 36 is going to equal 3?
So
3v negative?
negative 3 is going to be equal to v, right? So v is going to equal negative 3. All right. You sound like you can handle those ones. They're not too bad.
No.
The next ones, we have two sets of parentheses. So we're going to use the distributive property twice. And so on the first one, I'm going to get negative 16x. Negative times a negative is a positive 10. And then that plus 2x just goes behind it. On the other side, I'm going to get 4x and plus 20.
So your 4 comes over to the 2, negative 4x.
We could do
No.
that. Because we've got two of them with x's here. Normally
Oh.
what they're going to do is combine their like terms first before they start moving things.
Okay.
They only move things after they have 2 and 2.
Okay.
So in this case, they're going to put these ones together first. Negative 16 plus 2 would give me negative 14x plus 10 equals 4x plus 20. However, it is okay. If you subtract that 4x, it's going to still end up being okay as long as you do your math all right. But if you look on the ALEKS program, they're going to do that first, and then they're going to start moving things. So now they're going to subtract their 4x and subtract their 10. So if I do that,
We have negative 18x equals 10.
equals 10. And then when I divide, that doesn't come out to a nice whole number, but I have to simplify that fraction. Change it to a fraction.
We'll change it to a fraction?
Yep, they're going to want fraction answers.
Can I simplify that one? Oh, 9/5.
I think you did it the wrong way around
Oh,
then.
did I?
So, on your calculator, do 10 fraction negative 18. That's what you've got there, right?
Yeah.
Instead of the dividing, because the dividing gives you the decimal.
Oh, 5/9.
So negative 5/9. Because 10 and 18 were both divisible by 2, right? So negative 5/9 is how they're going to want that answer. So number 5, getting rid of our parentheses. On the left-hand side, what would we get?
5y minus 15. Am I multiplying that one? No, plus, oh, minus 6.
Exactly. Equals on the right-hand side.
20y minus 25 minus 5y.
Yep. So since we've got a whole bunch of terms there, their first step is going to be combining the like ones that are on the same side. We're going to put the negative 15 and the negative 6 together on the left, and the 20y and the minus 5y together on the right.
So it's going to be 5y minus 21 equals 15y minus 25.
Now we can solve it like we did before. So what should we do next?
15y comes over.
So minus our 15y.
And your negative 21 goes to positive 21.
Plus 21, exactly.
So that's going to be 10y
It's going to be, what's your sign?
minus
Minus 10y equals
negative 4.
negative 4. Exactly.
It's going to equal
And then we're going to divide and simplify that fraction.
so 10 goes up on top.
What goes on top?
Oh, negative, you got, oh, okay, I had it right.
Okay.
Okay, so that's going to be 2, so it's going to be 2/5.
2/5, exactly. And it's going to be positive since we had a negative over a negative.
Minus equal 2/5.
So y equals 2/5. So number 6, if we are simplifying that one, on the left side, if we do our distributive property,
Negative 2y plus 8.
what's your sign?
Was it going to be negative?
It is, because I have a negative times a positive.
Okay, negative 8 equals, hold on, wait a minute. Do I do the 4y times 4y?
Nope.
Nope.
What are you going to do? Where's your multiplying at? It's way down here, right?
Oh, okay.
So this stuff in front, the 4y minus 2, is just going to come down. And then I got to do the multiplying there at the end.
Oh, so it's going to be 8y
Plus 8y
6.
plus 6. So that 8y has a plus sign in front of it. And so the left side only has 2 terms, but the right side, I'm going to be able to combine some stuff, right?
Yep.
Put my y's together, put my numbers together to simplify that. Negative 2y minus 8 is going to equal
12y plus 4.
Yep. Now I can go about solving it.
That's going to be 10y.
Well, tell me what you're going to do.
Oh, I'm moving my 12 over to...
You're moving your 12 over, so when you move your 12, you're going to have
That's positive.
No.
Oh, a negative?
a negative because it is positive.
Oh, okay, so it's going 14 then.
So it's going to be negative 14y
14y minus becomes a positive 12.
So negative 14y equals 12.
Negative 14y. So that's going to be 2 sevenths.
How'd you
6 sevenths.
6, and what's your sign?
Negative.
Negative. So negative 6 sevenths. Because again, we could divide by 2. So negative 6 sevenths is going to be my answer. So yep, if your parentheses are way down there on the end, the front stuff's just going to come down, and then you're going to multiply there on the end. Now, the next ones are those ones with fractions. We said that when there were fractions in the problem, we like to get rid of the fractions right away because fractions are hard to deal with. So what we're going to do is multiply by the common denominator. We have 3's and 4's. Our least common multiple is 12. I'm going to multiply every term times 12. So all 4 of my terms are going to be times 12. Now, since we found our common denominator, we should be able to cancel out all those fractions. 3 goes into 12 4 times. 4 times 7x would give me 28x for my first term. Now, if you have a hard time with that, you could just take your calculator and do 12 times 7/3. Should give you 28.
Oh, okay.
Here, 3 goes into 12 4 times minus 4, minus 16 then. Or 12 times the negative 4/3. On the other side, notice that first term, the plain x, doesn't have a fraction. We can't cancel anything. We're just going to take the 12 times the x. So we're going to get 12x.
I was going to ask you about that. Okay.
Technically, it's over 1. So you could say, oh, 1 goes into 12, 12 times, and 12 times x is still 12x. And on the last term, 4 goes into 12 3 times. 3 times 3 is 9. Now that looks a whole lot simpler to solve than the previous thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now how do we solve that? What are we going to do?
We're going to put the 12x over by 28.
So we're going to minus our 12x, and
Your 16 is going to become positive 16.
make plus 16, exactly. So we would get
Minus 16 minus, 16x plus 25.
equals 25. 16x equals 25, and then we divide. And And 25/16, no common factors. It's not going to reduce down. We're just going to leave it as 25/16. If you put it in your calculator, it'll give you the mixed number, but if you change your mixed number back to the improper fraction, you just get the same number back, right? So 25/16. So number 8, multiplying by our common denominator, we're going to multiply everything times.
I would say 6.
I would too. So times 6 by everything. So on our front term, we just have 6 times 7y. There's no fraction to cancel. I'm just going to multiply that. 6 times 7y, 42y. On the fractions, we should be able to cancel. 3 goes into 6. 2 times 4.
8.
So we have a -8. Notice that sign won't change. It'll just come down. Equals 2 goes into 6.
3 times.
3 times 5y.
15.
15y. And then 6 goes into 6.
1.
1 times 7. So we get -7, right?
So minus.
We're going to minus our 15y
plus 8.
plus our 8, exactly.
So this is complete. $27.
27y equals
1.
1. And so when we divide, y is going to equal 1/27, right? Can't do much with that. All right, so if you look at number 9, what are you going to multiply all those by?
Five.
Not just 5?
15.
15, because I've got that 3 hiding there on the end, so I got to use 15.
Internet.
Oh,
Oh no, it came back on. Okay. So 15.
so times 15, yep. So front term doesn't have a fraction. 15 times 5u is going to give me
70 or 75.
75u. Plus, on the next one, we're going to get what?
3.
3. 5 goes in there 3 times. 3 times 1 is 3, exactly. Then we're going to have
6u
6u. 5 went in there 3 times. 3 times 2u is 6u.
plus 20.
Plus 20. 3 went in there 5 times 4 is 20. Great. So solving that, we are going to
Bring the 6u, and that becomes a negative 6u,
yep,
which is 69u. The 3 comes across to negative 3, which is 17. Then you divide.
I'm not sure if that reduces or not. I would check that one just in case. Put it in your calculator as 17 over 69, and if you get the same thing back, you can't reduce it.
Nope.
Can't reduce it, so that's going to be my answer. All right. The next 3, solving more with fractions. These times we have a binomial numerator, which means there's 2 terms up there. But it's the same philosophy. I want to get rid of those fractions. I'm going to multiply by my common denominator. In this case, I'm going to use 8 since 2 divides into 8. So everything has to be times an 8. And so I have 1, 2, 3 terms. All 3 of those are going to be times the 8. On that first one, since there's no fraction, we're going to just multiply 8 times 9. 8 times 9 is 72. Now what's going to happen on the rest is 8 goes into 8 once. I have to take 1 times both things on the top of that fraction. Well, since they're times 1, it doesn't change them much. 9y plus 5, right? On the second one, 2 goes into 8 4 times, right?
Yeah.
I want to pay attention to the sign that's in front of that fraction. It's a plus sign. So I'm multiplying both of those things by a positive 4. So I'm going to get a plus 4y, and a positive 4 times a negative 6 is a minus 24. When there's a plus sign, I don't have to worry about it so much as if there's a minus sign, I really have to be paying attention that it's a minus. Next thing, what do you suppose we should do to solve that?
Put the 4 over by the 9.
We're not going to move them, but we're just going to put them together because they're on the same side of the equal. So I'm just going to combine them. So 9 plus 4
15.
is 13y. 5 minus 24
Minus 19.
minus 19. Now if I want to solve that for y, the next thing I probably want to do is
Move the 19 to the
move
72.
exactly. Since there's only one y, we don't want to move the y, we just want to move our number over. So it's on the opposite side. So 72 plus 19
91.
is 91. So 91 equals 13y, and then we're going to divide. Now all of these ones happen to come out to nice whole numbers. So if you're not getting a whole number answer, there's a mistake somewhere. If you take 91 divided by 13, you get, or if you put 91 over 13 on your calculator, it comes out to the nice whole number 7. So just make a little note by these ones. You'll always get a whole number answer.
Always get.
If you're getting a fraction answer, something's wrong. So number 11, if we look at that one, what should we multiply by?
Geez, 42. I guess.
42. That's the only thing we can do. 6 and 7 doesn't have anything in common, so we just multiply them together. So we're going to multiply by 42. If our number's too big and we need to use our calculator, we use our calculator. On the first fraction, 6 goes into 42
7 times.
7 times. So we're going to take 7 times both things on top of that fraction.
So it would be 35x 28.
Plus 28. 35x plus 28. Second fraction, you said 6. 7 goes in there 6 times. So we're going to take 6 times both things on the top of that fraction. 12x plus 48. And then we have to take 5 times 42. No canceling on that one.
210.
210.
Plus 210.
Plus 210, exactly. So our left side only has the 2 terms, but our right side has 3 terms, which tells me I can put some stuff together. I'm going to add my numbers together, right?
Oh, these two?
Yep. So 35x plus 28 is going to equal 12x plus 258 then, right? If I add 48 to 210, 258. So now if we want to solve that, we're going to do what?
Now you're going to bring your 12x over to the left, becomes a negative
Minus 12x, yep.
And your plus 28 is going to be minus 28. So, equal 23x.
So 23x is going to equal
And 258 minus 28 can equal 230.
230.
So then we divide 23 over 230.
230 over 23.
Oh, 23 over.
Right, which one's in front of the x? That's the one that's always on the bottom.
Oh, okay. I better remember that. 23x over 230. 10.
10.
So x.
We got that nice whole number answer, so that's a good sign we did it right.
So the x is the one with the x.
That's the one we're always dividing by, the one in front of the x. So that's always the one that goes on the bottom.
So that one's going to be 14.
14, yep. So 14 times negative 24
Negative 10.
times.
Oh, times?
Yep, that's what we're doing, right? Multiplying everything times 14.
14 times 24. Oh, geez, 336 minus 336.
Minus 336. Okay, then we're going to
Divide, or
7 goes into 14
twice.
twice. So 2 times the top of that is
That could be 6w minus 14 minus, oh, no, yeah, that's going to be 7.
so 2 goes into 14 7 times, but there's a minus in front, so we want to think of it like a minus 7.
Oh, okay.
If I multiply both of those by a minus 7, I'm going to get,
A positive.
no,
Oh,
because I'm taking negative 7 times just a 7, right? That's just a 7 up there.
yeah,
So negative 7 times 7 is
negative 49.
negative 49w. 49w. How about I write a 9 in there? That would help.
Plus 21.
What's your sign?
Negative 21.
Minus 21. So you have to be
Minus
really
21.
careful when that minus is there because it gets distributed to both of those. This is negative, this is negative,
Oh,
right?
okay.
So that's why I moved that up there with that 7, so hopefully I remember. Negative times a positive is a negative, and on the second one, negative times a positive is a negative again. So next thing we probably want to do.
Okay, so we want to see, that's a bit wrong. Put the number 6w minus 49 together,
Right?
and then the minus 14 minus 21.
So we're combining our like terms.
So we have minus 36 equals 6 minus 21 equals negative 15w.
How would you get that?
Because my 6 is a w. Oh, okay. What the heck did I do here? Did I do minus 1? No, I messed up. I messed up there. So it's going to be 6 minus 49 is going to equal 43w.
Negative
Negative
43w.
43w. And then minus 35.
Uh-huh.
And we don't have a W.
Sure we do, right here, negative 43w. We don't have any w's on the other side, so what does that mean if I want to solve it for w? What should I move?
Well, you gotta take the negative 35 minus 336, right?
And so when I move this over, it's going to become
Minus 336, it's gonna be 331.
So negative,
331.
subtract that again, or add,
Minus 336. Oh, positive. Plus 35 is gonna equal 301.
301.
So then do you divide that?
Yes, you do.
That's just going to become negative 301 divided by negative 43 is going to equal 47.
What was that?
Positive 7.
7, okay. And again, it came up to a nice whole number, so that tells us, okay, we probably did it right.
Yep.
All right. Last 3 on this page. More solving. So, it says solving equations with 0, 1, or infinite many solutions. These are the ones where you don't always get W equals a number. Sometimes you get 0W equals something. If we get 0W equals 0, 0 times every number in the world is always 0, right?
Yep.
0 times 1 is 0, 0 times 5 is 0. That's when we pick the all real numbers are solutions. Because I could put any number in and have that be a true statement. If I get 0W equals any number in the world other than 0, say it's a 5, then I can't do that. I can't take 0 times anything and get 5, right? 0 times 5 is 0. So, those are our 2 weird cases. If we get a 0W, it's either going to give us all real numbers are solutions or no solutions. Otherwise, it'll solve like it normally solves. So, I'm going to do this one down here, and I'm going to, there. First of all, get rid of my parentheses, right? So, 5W plus 5 minus that W on the end is going to equal 3W minus 3 plus the 7 on the end, right? So, combining my like terms, 5W minus W is 4W plus 5. On the other side, combining my like terms, I'm going to have a 3W plus 4, right? Going to just keep going and solving it. So if I'm going to solve that, I get a minus my 3W and minus my 5. So 4W minus 3W is just 1W, or W. 4 minus 5 is negative 1. I got that one solved. I got a nice number answer. So on this one, I'm going to click the middle circle. I'm going to type minus 1 in the box because that one came out to a nice answer. Now I got to do the second one. So on the second one, you do the second one. What are we going to get?
Okay, so we got 3W minus 6 minus 5W equals negative 2W. Negative 4.
Yep. What should I do next?
Okay, you gotta combine the right terms. I think you better go with the 3 and the W5, negative 5 first.
Okay.
Right?
Yep.
So you get negative 2W. Oh,
Yep. That's right.
okay. So it's gonna be negative 6 minus 2? Is that it?
So you're going to have negative 2W
Yeah.
minus 6.
Minus 6.
And that's all we have on that side. Equals negative 2W minus 4, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so if we're going to solve that.
4. So your 2W comes over to positive 2W.
Hmm.
Your 6 becomes a positive 6.
And so when we subtract, we get
0.
0 W's equals
Equals 2.
2. 0 times what number is 2?
0.
Now if you take 0 times 0, do you get 2?
Oh no.
No. That's one of our special cases, right?
Okay.
You can't take 0 times anything to get a 2. And so my answer is going to be
No solution.
no solution. I can't do that one.
Okay.
Okay? So, number 14, same thing. Got to get rid of our parentheses. So if we do the top one,
Negative 3W minus 3 plus 7W equals 4W plus 4 minus 7.
negative 3W minus 3 plus 7W equals 4W plus 4 minus 7. Looks good. Next thing I want to do,
Okay, I want to do my 3W minus 7, which is going to be my 4W. 4W minus 3 equals 4W minus 3. Then I bring my minus 3 to 3. Positive, negative 4W goes over to the right.
okay,
So that's going to be negative 16W.
whoops.
No. Negative 4 times 4.
Are you timesing?
Yeah.
No, you're not.
Oh, I'm not?
No. Right? We're adding and subtracting when we move those over.
Okay. So it's going to be 0.
It's going to be 0W equals
Equals 0.
0. And what did we say our answer was going to be if 0W equals 0?
All real numbers.
All real numbers, because I can take 0 times 1, 0 times 2, 0 times 586. And I'm still going to get 0, right? 0 times every number in the world is still 0. All right. Next one there.
This can be negative 3W. Is that going to be a positive negative 3? Oh, okay, negative 12
Yep.
equals
Whoops.
negative 12, oh, minus 2W
Yep, can't forget that guy.
equals 2W plus 2. So then we do the 3W and the minus 2W. Negative 3W plus minus 2W is going to be negative 5W. Minus 12 equals 3W plus 2. So your negative 5W, oh no, your plus 2 will come over to your negative 2W. Be 7W, and minus 12 will be a positive 12.
Now just want to check something here.
Oh, okay.
When you did negative 5 minus 2, you got negative 7,
Yeah.
right?
Oh, yeah.
So that's a negative 7W equals your 14 on the other side, right?
Yep.
So now we're going to divide, and our answer is going to be W is equal to
It's going to be negative 2.
negative 2. And so we check the middle one, we type the negative 2 in the box, and that's going to be your answer. All right, one last one for good measure here. So, multiplying that out.
Six y plus 6 is 9 equals 4y minus 4 plus 2y.
Exactly. Keep going.
Okay, so then You add the 6 and the -9. 6 minus 9 and -3, so it'll be 6y minus 3 equals 6y minus 4.
Great. Keep going.
Okay, so then you bring your -6, your -6 becomes, oh no, it becomes a positive, -6, your +6 becomes a -6y.
Yep.
And your -3 becomes a +3. That'll be 1, -0y equals 1.
Equals -1.
-1.
-4 minus 3 is -1.
So there's no solution.
So there's no solution, exactly.
You can come home with me tonight.
All right, let's do the bottom one. You're doing good on these.
Yeah, as long as I'm talking, I mean, I have someone to talk to, I could do it. Okay, 4y plus 4 plus y equals 8y minus 8 plus 6. So 4y, is that a 1? So that'd be 5y?
Exactly.
5y plus 4 equals 8y minus 2.
Okay.
And the 8y becomes a -8y. Your 4 plus +4 becomes a -4. That should be -6 and a -3y.
Okay.
Divide that by -6 divided by -6.
-6 divided by what?
-3.
-3
2.
is 2.
Y is going to equal 2.
Y is going to equal 2. All right.
So I put 2 in the y.
You put the middle one, click that box, and then put the 2 in there. So it says y equals 2. Yep. All right. So if you peek at your pie chart, I don't know if you've been clicking so you're still logged into Alex or not, but I probably have to log into Alex. Probably kicked me off. It did. I log back in. Oh, maybe it left me over here. If you're looking at your pie chart then, those first things that we did today are in this teal color blue section. So look at the first 5 on your list. See if you have any of those 5. Like we did this one, equations with 0, 1, or infinite many solutions. We probably did those, all 3 of those. See if you maybe got them right when you took the assessment or if you have them on your pie chart. So, solving a linear equation with several occurrences of the variables on both sides, and 2 distributions. So, you must have got this one right when you took the assessment. You're on this one right here.
Solving a linear.
Then you have solving a linear equation with several occurrences of the variables on both sides, and fractional coefficients. Whoa. Now it's time to get out. Anyway, so those 4 things is what we did right now.
Okay.
We're going to work till about 10, and we're going to do the next things there. So if you want to do the ones we just did, that's where you're going to find those on your pie chart.
Okay.
If you want to work on something from the review and work on these at home, you could do that too, but if you want to do the ones we just did, then that's where you find those.
Okay.